Welcome to Product by Design with Kyle and Eva,
a podcast about product management and product design,
where we'll talk about subjects from product strategy to inclusive design.
Every episode, we just have a good conversation about all the things that you may already know or not know, and occasionally we'll have a guest from maybe engineering or other product managers and designers to talk about all these topics.
All right, welcome back to another episode of Product by Design. How's it going, Eva?
Great. Hello and good afternoon. Today's a sunny day, so I'm happy and very excited. The holidays are coming up. It is that time of the year where you start to think, oh, what am I going to do when I'm at home doing nothing? Excited for that.
Yeah, it is exciting. The holidays, and it's like the weather is nice-ish, I guess, for this time of year. So it's like pleasant. We went out for a walk yesterday, like a nice long walk, and it was cold, but when the sun's out, it feels nicer than it really is. So it was like nice to get out of the house and go for a long walk.
Yeah, it's been really nice, but I am a little scared that it's been so warm. Do you feel like this year has been extra warm? Like, we don't have snow on the ground. I know it's coming for half a year, soon, but it feels extra warm.
I don't know. I mean, we had that. So we had an early snowstorm a little while ago, enough that like our kids were outside playing and building snowmen and stuff in, what was that, like early November? So that got things cold for a little while. And then it's warmed up a little bit. I kind of wish that Thanksgiving was going to be warmer. Like we hit like 60 degrees here in Utah a couple days ago, which was it was like beautiful and nice and warm. I know some places have like nice warm Thanksgivings. My wife is from Texas. And so like Thanksgiving in Texas is like an outside affair, which is what would be ideal is if you could do Thanksgiving outside, because then you could actually have more of a normal Thanksgiving, which is what we've been talking about, because we're not exactly sure what to do about Thanksgiving at this point, given everything that's happening. And so we're like trying to figure out how to do a virtual Thanksgiving and like still see family and that sort of thing, but do it in a safe way and all of that. Yeah. So if you could do it outside comfortably, that would be the ideal. But in like 40-degree weather, that's just it's like not fun.
That's the thing. I just remember Thanksgiving being cold, and I guess this year is not going to be as cold as I remember, which I am very happy about. And I do want to ask though, like, what do you do when you do Thanksgiving outside? Do you eat outside too, or no?
Yeah, like eat outside, do like a turkey fry and stuff like that. We haven't been down to Texas frequently for like too many holidays, but from what it looks like and sounds like, it is just absolutely awesome to be in Texas in the holidays, because you can do like big get-togethers. Yeah, when we were down there a little while ago, it was nice, warm weather in like the winter. So like November, December. And so you could be outside, like just jacket type weather. And so like super comfortable. Yeah, be great. It's like made for this type of thing, because you can still kind of get together with people, but still be distant enough and outdoors where it's safer. So it's just, you're in much better shape if you're someplace like that right now.
Yeah, that's awesome. I feel like that gives you a good reason to go, visit places that are usually burning hot. And that's actually, I feel like everybody, depending on where you're from, like there's a ideal time to go visit home. Sounds like if you're from Texas, this is the time usually you probably want to go home. Right?
Yes. Yeah. So like winter is an amazing time to go visit Texas. Summer is not an amazing time to go visit.
Tell me more.
To go visit Texas. Yeah.
That's kind of how I plan my yearly visit to go to Hong Kong, and just springtime. No, it's like a laundry room all the entire trip. It's not fun because we'll go outside immediately. You're just drenched in your own sweat. So we never go in spring. Summer, it's fun, but I try not to. But wintertime, great. It's just mild and pretty cold, I would say, but still, it's not humid and sticky everywhere. I remember when I was young going to school, you would arrive at school, sit at your desk, literally have to pull out a tissue paper and just wipe down your desk because it's just a thin film of dust gelled to your desk. It's pretty gross because of the moisture.
Wow.
In spring. Yeah. Everything just gets super moldy and not pleasant. But yeah, Utah is very dry, which is the exact opposite of Hong Kong. Also, fun fact, do you know what we do for Thanksgiving in Hong Kong?
No, what do you do?
It's actually very American. We just go shopping, skip the eating. We don't even eat. Thanksgiving in Hong Kong is just like a giant Black Friday sale. There's no eating. We don't really celebrate. Thanksgiving is not really a day you take off work and just sit there and eat. That's not how we do it. It's just whatever weekend that is closest to that day, shopping. That's what you do. A lot of department stores and stuff just have a huge sale. They don't even call it Black Friday sale or anything, but it just, what is that? They call it like a Thanksgiving sale or thankful customer appreciation sale. It's very interesting.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
So you're almost kind of like ahead of the curve because Thanksgiving has continually gotten encroached upon by Black Friday in the US. But
capitalism.
Yeah, you've just like jumped ahead of that. And you're like, we're not even going to do the eating part. We're going to just jump right into the sales and the shopping. That's awesome.
Yep. That's why we're all so skinny, because we skip the eating, just go straight to busting the doors open and just go shopping. But I also want to bring up one thing before we start our episode today. Ask me what I'm drinking.
What are you drinking, Eva?
I'm so glad you asked. This is a very Thanksgiving appropriate tea I recommend to everybody. It is from Trader Joe's. It is their Harvest Blend herbal tea. It is what we call the fox tea because there's a fox on the box. It has like cinnamon and all the fall flavors in it. So highly recommended by my household. So yeah.
Nice. Very nice.
That kind of kicks off the episode we have today because we're trying to dive into the spirit of Thanksgiving. So what are we talking about today, Kyle?
Yeah. So we are, like Eva said, talking about some things that we appreciate in this podcast episode. So we have kind of a tradition for everybody who's been listening, which I'm sure is all of you, for our past 20 episodes of giving some shout outs at the end of each episode. But in the spirit of Thanksgiving, this episode is going to be a longer version of that. Basically, we have a bunch of shout outs that we want to give to some things that we have been using and that we have been enjoying, or that we just use very frequently and want to call out as something very good and useful. So that is what we're going to be doing in the spirit of Thanksgiving. Some shout outs, some product shout outs for this episode. So with that, do you want to kick it off or you want me to kick it off?
Let's see. I'm going to take an extra sip of tea while you kickstart our first one.
All right.
Yep.
So with that, I will kick it off and go right into the drinks. Eva kind of got us started.
Oh.
But my first shout out, we love hot chocolate. And for years we have used, some of you might be familiar with like the Cocomotion machine, which like makes the hot chocolate. Utter garbage compared to
Tell me more.
we just got a milk frother, which I hadn't used before, but absolutely amazing. It is making such good hot chocolate. I had no idea what we were missing, but not only heats the hot chocolate and froths it and stirs it to perfection, but we're also adding, and maybe this is kind of goes along with it, but a shout out to some of the Torani, not the syrups that you put in the soda, but their sauces, their caramel sauce, their white chocolate sauce, and a cookies and cream sauce. So after making the hot chocolate, topping it with some drizzles of those, yeah, we're just in heaven with our new milk frother and the hot chocolate that it's making. It was supposed to be a Christmas gift for my wife because we have this old Cocomotion, and she loves making hot chocolate in the winter. And she's like, it still works. You just have to stand next to it and hit it. And I was like, That's
I love that.
that doesn't work. And so I was like, all right, here, I got this for you. And, I was going to wrap it and everything, but let's just pull it out early and we'll just start using it. And so she didn't even start using it. I was like, you know what? I want to try this thing out because it's brand new. And so I made the first one and I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I was like, this isn't even your gift anymore. I'm keeping it. She's like, what? No, you got that for me. I was like, no, you can keep using you can keep standing next to the thing and hitting it. I'm using this. This is mine. I'm going to make the hot chocolate. I'm going to make myself a cup every day because this is amazing. But then she started doing it. She makes better hot chocolate than I do anyway. So incredible. Get yourself a milk frother.
So is that frother like part of that machine or is that a separate thing that you have?
No, so it's part of the machine. So yeah, it has like the frothing thing at the very bottom. So you can either just do like a little heater or it has like almost like a whisk type thing that you put at the bottom.
Okay.
So as it spins and heats it, it's frothing the milk. And it's just, and mixing like whatever you've put in it. So you don't even have to.
I see.
You don't have to put chocolate in if you don't want to, but it will froth it.
Oh, I see. So it's a heater and a frother in one.
Yes. Heater,
right?
frother.
And the spinning.
Yep. Spinning. So you can do all of those things. We specifically have it for the hot chocolate, but you can do the heating, like if you want to just froth it. Had no idea what we were missing. I'm sure there's tons of people out there who knew all about this for so long. So shame on you for not telling me, for one. But if you didn't know just the amazing hot chocolate that it's making, yeah.
I am sold. And I also wasn't sure what kind of frother we were talking about because I've actually personally gone through multiple, like just the frother part of a machine. And it's like the wand style that I have purchased a couple before, but they didn't really do much for me. And I actually was looking for like a kettle version. Yeah. Maybe that would do better because I like making matcha latte. But maybe I'll look into that. Is there a particular, I don't know, brand that you are supporting here?
Okay. So it is the Sakura 4-in-1 electric automatic milk frother. Yeah. So it's like the kettle version.
Yes.
Lots of good reviews. It's very well loved. I too, a long time ago, tried the wand version as well and was very, very unimpressed. And that's probably what turned me off a long time ago to like the milk frother. And we just stuck with what we had, but very much turned back in this direction this past week.
And you're back in the family, in the chocolate family.
Yes.
Hot chocolate family.
Yes. Yep.
We love a good product that brings you back into the fold, right? Good experience.
So good. So good.
And I'm glad we have this joyous beginning of this list. And now I'm like, mine's not as fun as yours because mine's like a digital product that helps. Well, it is a very, very try to start going into it. Let's do it. Let's take a sharp left from hot chocolate to computer related stuff. And my first product is this service called Setapp, Setapp. This has been one of the most exciting things in my life lately because it is a service that you pay $9.99 per month and then you get a collection of Mac apps that you can use. And a lot of these apps are actually subscription services that you have to pay individually for however much too. So when I signed up for the Setapp, I was like, is this going to be good? Is it going to be helpful? But they have actually a pretty large catalog of apps that you can browse through. And it's been really, really exciting to just download whatever within the library and knowing that I don't have to pay extra for whatever I want to try out. Because a lot of the time, I'm sure you guys experience this where you see something that you're like, oh, that can be really nice to have. But I'm not ready to fork out, $5 or $3, whatever it is. And even they sometimes offer like a free trial. It just kind of, there's that barrier for you to adopt this new product, right, in your life. And this Setapp service has been very, very helpful for me to try different things and found actually a couple products I'm going to also share with you in a second. They're on my list as, things I'm grateful for this episode. And a little bit about the company that makes Setapp. I feel like it's so hard to say this name. Setapp. I also would describe this Setapp service as Netflix of apps. You basically just pay $99.99 a month, and you again download whatever you want. And they're made by the same company that makes Clean My Mac. I feel like that's probably their most popular product that they have put out, and they're based in Ukraine. I have been fairly impressed by the quality that this thing has offered. And because when I first signed up, I was like, I'll give it a week. That's the time that they give you for the free trial. And I was fairly skeptical, just because it's like, what if it's a ton of stuff that I don't actually need? But turns out it's the opposite. And they also are very good at offering new things that are helpful. And they have categories like lifestyle, creativity, developer tools, Mac hacks, and writing and blogging, task management. So these are, I think, categories that everyone can partake and appreciate. And so, yeah, that's kind of my first shout out here. And everyone should look it up and try it out. I feel like I want to tell you more right now because there are a few of them that I have on my list, but I'll curb my enthusiasm for a second.
Okay. All right. Nice. Very nice. I'll give you number 2 here then. Second shout out I have. This is a game, kind of a game that I've been playing. I don't do a ton of like games or other things, but there's a couple. And this one is called Elevate. And I guess it's kind of a game and kind of like almost like mental training. So the games are very much like cognitive based. So if you're looking for like something fun to do to just pass the time, this isn't actually it, because it's like a lot of speed math and speed reading and things like that, just to help you think faster and think better about things. And so it's been really, really interesting. And then it gives you like feedback on what you're doing well in and what you're not doing well in. So you can actually start to improve. So like estimation of things and doing like quick mental math and doing like quick reading and finding mistakes and things like that. So it's called Elevate. It's not free. So it's like a subscription. But it's been really, really good. And you can do like training or focus on different areas. So it's all gamified to make it like more engaging and more fun, which has been good. But I've been really liking it, and it's been a lot of things that I hope for. Some things are like easier if you do a lot of writing and reading, then like those areas are a lot quicker. But I find myself not doing as much math, just mental math, as I probably should be doing. And so it was kind of a way of like forcing myself to do more of that and think more quickly about it. So it's been really, really good. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, I would suggest checking that out. It's called Elevate. It's a really good one. So that is my second one.
If you hear me typing, it's because I'm trying to get it on my phone right now. I just looked it up. That looked like right up my alley. I love this. And I do agree with you that, yeah, I'm feeling that same thing where I'm like, I shouldn't be able to calculate this faster in my head. And what happened to me?
Yeah.
You feel that way too? Like, what happened to me?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, those are like the exact things that I have been thinking. It's like, I should be able to do those things like without a calculator. I should be able to do it faster. And so having a way to force myself into doing it and doing it more frequently is exactly what I was looking for. And so that's what it is.
I feel like this one is a dangerous one for people like us. I'm like just browsing through the screenshot that they have. I'm like, yes, I want to give you the answer to this exact problem you're presenting in this screenshot. I can see myself going through this till like 2 a.m. in the morning. So tweet at Kyle if you stop sleeping because of this. Direct your complaint towards him. I feel like I'm going to be one of them. So I will report back next time and see how many hours I lose. How much is this? You said that it is a subscription, right?
It is. And I did the annual subscription. I forget what it was.
Oh, that's a big commitment.
Yeah. But I went all in. It comes out to like a couple bucks a month, I think. I forget what the exact amount was, but I was like, you know what? I'm going in. I'm committing. I'm going to do it. Yeah. So went all in.
Do you feel like when you sign up for something annually, you're more motivated to use it because you already put the money down?
That's a good question.
I feel like you can answer that from two angles, like as a product manager and as a human being.
Possibly. So I don't know. That maybe I probably force myself into it, though I'm like very aware too of like the bias that if I've already like put the money into it and it's a sunk cost, and if I'm just not like enjoying it anymore, it's like, well, it's already been done. So like I'm aware of that fallacy too. So if I just am not finding the benefit of it anymore, like I'm okay not using it. But at the same time, there are things like I don't have a problem with forcing myself in certain areas to like commit for a longer period of time. So like an annual commitment in order to be like, you know, you're doing this thing and you're going to like commit to it for the next year.
Yes.
And because this is an important thing. And after that, it's fine. Like, you know, do it for a year and then see if you're going to continue it. But there are a couple things, like a couple subscriptions that I've done, that sort of thing. Like, and sometimes it tapers like over the year because I'll be like, I'll have other things that will become more important. But, you know, that's life.
But I also want to point out, yes, I really like what you mentioned about the sunk costs because I have this theory. I am naming it right here, right now. The disgusting pizza theory is that you already bought the pizza. If you're already full and it's disgusting, why waste your energy to keep eating or just make yourself suffer? Right?
Yeah.
You already paid for it. Why suffer more? You don't have to eat it if you don't like it.
Yeah. No, these are very good. I think we'll probably dive more into some of these like cognitive biases that we have in future episodes because they're very interesting. Like, can you bring yourself to stop eating it? Can you bring yourself to walk out of a movie that's bad, even though you've already paid for it? Like, those are difficult things to do.
Movies, I feel like it's different. Okay, I know this is a big tangent, but I'm saying like the pizza is not going to get better if you have one slice and it's already bad. It's not going to get better. A movie, maybe. That's how I see it. But yeah, disgusting pizza theory. You heard it here. Okay, so the second on my list is one of the apps that I got through Setapp. I hate saying that name, but this one is called CleanShot X. I don't know why they put the X at the end. It sounds very scary and powerful. I mean, it is powerful. I really have been enjoying this one. So it is a screen capture app, but it does more than just that. So this is, again, included in the subscription. If you get it through Setapp, it's only like $9.99 per month for one computer. And I know that they have a family plan too. That is $20 and you can share with, I don't know, friends, family, whoever. I don't know how many people. I think, 4 people. So it will be $5 per person if you find $5 per person if you find 4 people. Well, including yourself. So anyways, the original price of CleanShot X is $29. So worth it to get it through Setapp. So I needed to record a lecture because my college that I graduated from invited me to do a lecture. And I was excited to go down there and visit my old campus and everything. And obviously that didn't happen for pandemic reasons and really sad. But I was scratching my head. I was like, how am I going to record this thing? Because definitely want a little, box of my face talking about stuff that I'm showing on the slide deck. And how can I also make sure it's high quality? Everything needs to be in sync. And also don't want to get, my audio and video, everything from different sources? How am I going to edit them? All these very important questions. And I know a lot of people are probably needing, recording service for this kind of purposes. So I feel like this is, if I have to rate everything on my list, this one definitely 5 out of 5 stars, or 5 fall leaves out of 5 fall leaves for our Thanksgiving special. I actually have used this to do screenshots too, to replace my default Mac operating system screenshot capability. It's been really nice because this app, every time when you use it to do a screenshot, because you can even keep the same hotkey, right? The Command Shift 3 or 4 or whatever. And every time you do a screenshot, it actually pops up on your screen on the bottom right of what you just captured. And you can just drag that straight into Slack, drag that straight into whatever apps you want to dump that into. Or you can actually edit that exact screenshot and annotate it or highlight portions you want. It is a very, very, very handy app. Highly recommended. Mm-hmm. And again, sign up through your set app. You will save more money. Well, $29 is like a big ticket price, I feel like. But anyways, and the nice thing is that when you do screenshot, you can also set it up to hide your desktop icons or anything that you don't want people to see. You can also change your background when you have the screen capture activated. It's just a lifesaver when I was trying to record my videos too, because it comes with all the capability to record your screen, even capture your face in a little corner. So definitely get it. Besides all these functionality, I also want to point out that they do a really good job teaching you how to use it and telling you what the system expects and how do you do a scrolling capture successfully. This is okay. This is not okay. And drag it here to here would be better than dragging it from there to there. So I really appreciate that. This has been, I don't know, very delightful to use. And it's one of those experiences that, because it's a well-designed product, so you don't even think about it when you use it. So I'm very grateful that this is such a thoughtful product.
Nice.
So yeah,
Very
definitely
nice.
get it. The end.
Cool.
What's your next one?
All right. So next one that I've been using for a while, kind of these next two actually. So I was kind of thinking about some of the things that I have just been using and that really fit in to my life and just make it easier and better, that I'm kind of take for granted at this point a little bit. And one of them that I have been using for a couple of years now is actually so I have a Fossil Gen 4 smartwatch. So it's got Android Wear on it, and it's just been really, really good. It's not, I don't think it's got quite the capability of some of the newer ones, I don't think any Android Wear has the functionality of like an Apple Watch. So let's put that out there. But at the same time, it's just been solid and it's been great. And it does like all of the things that I would expect it to. And if I'm not wearing it, like I notice the loss of it. So like not getting the notifications or not being able to like control music or audiobooks just from like my wrist. All of those little things that you just get very, very used to. Like if my phone buzzes, not having to take it out and just look at it. So I know that pretty much we have moved into a smartwatch world, which wasn't the case probably that long ago. But it's interesting. I feel like there's still a ways to go in that regard, especially given the fact that like you're still very specific to operating systems. But it's one of those that has just fit in so well with everything, and it's just really seamless. So it's just been really good. So just a shout out to my Fossil Gen 4, which it's a little bit old now, but still just hanging strong and doing well. I love it.
I have a question for you. Well,
Yeah.
actually, before my question, I do think that we need to put a trigger warning for iPhone users, because this is the Android family here.
Yeah.
Um, so once in a while, you'll hear some Android related shout outs. But I do have to ask, because I know you have an iPad, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Do you have an Apple Watch?
I do not. No.
Oh, interesting. Because for some reason, I thought you have an Apple Watch too. So what do you connect to your watch, your Fossil one? Because just your phone, or do you connect your iPad, or is there any crossover?
No, just my phone. So yeah.
I see. Can an iPad connect to your Fossil watch, Android operator of Fossil watch in any way? Any apps on your iPad?
I don't know. I haven't ever tried.
I guess everything you can do on your iPad are pretty much things on your phone too.
Yeah. Yeah. I use my iPad for pretty like a narrower set of things. So
I see.
It's very much for like reading and a lot of notes. I take just a ton of notes and writing and sketching and stuff on it. So I think it's very good for that. Not for a lot of like apps and different things that I would be more focused on, like my phone, that would then translate over to my watch. So
interesting. Yeah, I've been noticing how people cross over, or they're just purist. Where in my household, which is going to trigger some people, I've mentioned before, I use my what are those called, AirPods, with my Android phone, and then Colby works off a PC or Microsoft. What is that called? A laptop, a PC laptop. I don't know why I was thinking so long on that. And his iPhone. There's a lot of crossover, cross-platform things happening in this household, and I'm interested in knowing how other people like sees if it's blasphemy, or do you have to stick with the family of Apple, or how everyone sees it? Tweet at me. I am genuinely curious what product you use, Apple, what products you use, in the Android or Microsoft family, or Google, whatever. So anyways,
yeah.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
All right. This one is a kind of a fun daily one. It is called Noisio. I love new products, but they all have these funky names that nobody can pronounce. Okay, it's Noizio. How would you pronounce that?
I guess it depends on what it does, how I would pronounce it. Does it make
sound
noise?
related?
Okay, yeah. Noisio.
Yeah. Okay, let's stick with that. And in case you guys haven't noticed, in the past 20 plus episode, here I am an English as a second language speaker, so don't come at me for that. Please, mercy. So Noisio is an app that will help you to separate your work from home world from home, because it provides all kinds of background sounds and music. I cannot call them music. They're not really music, just white noise or whatever environmental sounds that you will get from the usual outside world. They have a pretty big sound library, and you can actually layer each of the sound on top of each other, and you can set that as a preset for yourself. And I have found this app very delightful to use, just because the interface is very easy, and it just sits right on top of my menu bar. On top, I can pause it very quickly. The little drop down, you can directly toggle how loud you want certain sounds play, within the mixes that you do. And I'm just going to name a short list of sounds that they have in their library. Okay. Kitty purr. Big fan of that one. Thunderstorm, winter wind, summer night, old typewriter, which is great. I love that. There's a farm one that comes with cow mooing and sheep and stuff too. I love that one. That one's just fun to listen to. Definitely cannot listen to that at work, because I'm just like, where am I? What is happening? And so, yeah. And then they also, of course, have all the nature ones and some space sounds. I really like those. There's a heartbeat one that makes me feel very anxious when I listen to it. So I've been trying out different combos of, I like, the campfire with the summer night. That one's pretty peaceful. And I don't know why, but there's a clock one. That one also makes me feel like, oh, I have to hurry. I have been enjoying this a lot. I only use it when I'm working from home. And then on top of that, I use my noise canceling headphones, and it's been like a very serene experience to work from home. It makes me a little more focused and also helps me to separate the home life and the work life a little bit better, because now we don't have the commuting to kind of give you that space. But when I put on my headphones and start the background noise, kind of gives you that extra layer. They also claim to help with calming anxiety. This is from their website. I'm not making this up. They also help with happiness, managing stress, to calm kids, meditation. Meditation, I do believe in that, this sound library can help with. I haven't used it for yoga or meditation, but actually that's a great idea. I just saw that on their website. I recommend it, and it is $2.99 on the App Store, and I believe it's both Android and Apple. So take a look, and if you are signing up on Setapp, it is on there too. So free if you have that $9.99 subscription. I feel like they should pay me to promote their service.
Yeah, seriously, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about their service and 2 other apps that they have included in there. Plugging really hard right now for them. So let us know if you want sponsor. So this was fun.
We should call out. We're not being sponsored by any of these at this moment. Yep. So hopefully we can change that. But at this point, all of these are just pure shout outs from us. So
from the bottom of our hearts.
Yeah.
We're grateful.
Nothing here has been bought yet. That's not to say that some of these recommendations aren't for sale, but
we're not getting a cut.
Yeah,
that's
why you're getting a cut yet.
Yes. I'm with you.
Yeah.
What's your next one?
Speaking of that, this is another one that I've been using them for a long, long time. And I'm surprised I haven't given them a shout out yet, because I love Weebly. So a lot of you are probably familiar with other easy website building tools. And there's a bunch out there like Squarespace or WordPress. I have used Weebly for just a number of years, and like they're just super easy and super fast, and just have a lot of good things to work with. And it probably sits somewhere in the middle of a bunch of those other tools, functionally, and as far as like the add-ons and plugins that you can use. The ease of use is just, it's super, super easy to use. And the price is like very, very good. So that I use them for a number of websites, and just shout out to Weebly, because they really do make building a website like super, super fast and simple. And it can be, it feels like they've changed their pricing structure periodically. And I've gotten in on a couple of different price changes to make it free in a number of different ways. So that's been like beneficial for me. So I don't know like exactly what the pricing is now, but it's like free for building certain ones. And then it may cost a little if you want to like use your own domain and stuff like that, or it may not. Just depending on when you get in. So anyway, very, very good. I'm a fan of a lot of their tools. Very fast, very good.
And our website's also built with that, right?
It is. Yeah. So go check out productbydesign.co, and it is powered by Weebly. It is one of the websites powered by Weebly, and very, very good. Love it.
And use code Product by Design for a 10% off at checkout. I feel like you were going to say that when you say, go to this URL. I've been listening to podcasts. They all have this like tone and structure of that, of the ad read, that they go to this website and use code blah for a 10% at checkout.
Yeah,
I'm practicing
one. Yeah, I wish we had one that you could get some 10% off. Yeah. You don't have it. I don't have anything right now to give you 10% off.
Yeah, that was just a practice round, but we also sound very desperate for a sponsorship. But we're excited, not desperate. Just want to put it out there.
Yeah. We don't need
yeah.
a sponsorship, but we're happy to talk about one if you want to.
Yes, exactly. On to my fourth shout out is again, another name that I can barely pronounce and think that I'm pronouncing it right. It's called Todoist. This one I have more confidence behind it. I'm sure a lot of you have used this. They have been around for 13 years. Came out originally in 2007. I did my homework for this one because I was really curious because I have used Todoist a couple years back and I was like, oh, this is cool, useful, but I kind of fell off, stopped using it. And now life has gotten kind of chaotic, especially work from home, what do I need to do? And all these things kind of start to blend together. So I started using it again. It's been great. The improvement that they have made from the last go around and to today, I can say I was not in love with it. And now I'm in love with it. Okay. I am really also proud of their just seeing where they were and seeing where they are now. It's very exciting. So you can use the free version of Todoist, or you can pay $3 per month for their premium features. So the free version actually was working great for me. I couldn't comment. That was one thing. But if you want to try it out, I highly recommend it. It's great for tracking things for work, things for personal life or personal projects. And they just added like a new board view feature. So you can basically build a Kanban board for yourself. I know that they have a pricing structure that is catered for teams too. I don't know anybody who has used the team side of things. So I'm curious how that side works. But for me personally, it's been great. I just committed to their premium features. I actually did the annual plan here to support them. And now I can comment and comes with like reminders. I can attach files and use labels, filters. And then I also got my husband into it. And one thing that he is doing with Todoist, which is pretty cool, is that you can sync up your calendar so that when you create a to-do item in Todoist, it will put it on your Google Calendar. If it's something that you say, oh, it starts at 9:00, it will automatically schedule like a hour block on your calendar so that you can actually spend that time to work on whatever you have to do, which is pretty cool. And you can also convert email into a task. So Big shout out. This is a daily thing for me to use it. So
nice.
Love it.
You've gone all in on the Todoist. I've heard a lot of good things about it, especially if you like invest the time and really get it set up so that like, you have it working for you. That can be really, really powerful.
Yep. I love it.
Okay. My last shout out is, this is kind of a multifaceted one, but it is probably like one of the favorite things. It is especially come to light. So we are fully decorated for Christmas already. So yeah. And we have been decorated for Christmas for several weeks already. So we're coming up on Thanksgiving. And our family perspective is that you only get about 2 months. Once Halloween is over, then Christmas, like the celebration time for decorations and all that, like you really only get about 2 months. So the amount of time that you spend decorating and all of that, like if you're going to maximize that time, you got to just do it. Like once Halloween's over, stuff comes down, Christmas stuff goes up, and you start like, you start celebrating. So
strong opinion here.
Yeah, strong opinion. This has nothing to do with my shout out. But the tie-in though is that I have set up a smart home sync where basically you can say Christmas, start Christmas party, and the lights go down, all the Christmas lights inside come on, the TV turns on, my Christmas playlist on Spotify comes on and starts playing. And it literally is it's amazing. So these smart home features, like I'm such a huge fan. We didn't have any of them in our previous home just because we knew we weren't going to be there for long enough. But we have And by we, I mean, I have put in a bunch of them in our current home because we plan on staying here for a long time. And we have used a lot of TP-Link, and their app is the Kazaa app. And it's great. I love it. And we have a bunch of other like components to it, but like as far as the lighting and some of the smart plugs and smart bulbs and things like that, that's where a lot of it is TP-Link, because it just works really well and it's really nice. So that is where a lot of that comes from, is just being able to control a lot of the lights, control the Christmas lights, control all of those things. And I'm such a huge fan because you can put timers on it. So, I mean, basically the whole house at a certain time can just shut down, and I don't have to go through and like turn lights off and stuff at the end of the day.
That's great.
Because everything is on a timer. So, you know, around 11:30, like everything's going to just start shutting off and I don't have to like go back through. And obviously, you know, when we go to bed, we can say good night. I'm not gonna say the key word here, because we had a party and one of our friends, this was pre-COVID, but one of our friends was like, yeah, it's cool. You can say this and good night, and it shuts everything down. And they said it. They and literally our whole house just shut. All the lights shut down. Oh. So I was like, oh, come on, man. You can't call out the voice assistant and then say good night. Like I have that programmed. So I'm not going to say her name, the voice assistant, because if I do and start talking, she's going to hear me and start shutting things down. So you all know the voice assistant I'm talking about. I won't call it out right now, so I don't trigger if you have a voice assistant nearby. But anyway, yeah, that coupled with all the other things. So having that hooked into the TV and the lights and all of that, it's great. I have some other ones as well. Maybe I'll save some of those specific shout outs for a later time and when they're more season appropriate and season specific. But that was just one that's very much tied into the season right now, is being able to program that specific thing so that, you know, we can set the Christmas mood in just a single motion and have everything kind of happen. Lights go off, Christmas lights come on, playlists start, which we've used frequently, like to get the Christmas season going. So we have like that Christmas playlist going all the time. It's great.
I don't know how you feel. I don't know how I feel about starting Christmas right after Halloween, but I definitely am jealous of your power, that you sound like the true master of your universe. You know, the power to really shut everything down just on command. I do think that smart home technology is, you know, targeting that part of your brain and just like, see, your house is coming alive and you're in control. Give us money so this can keep happening, right? That I am very interested in implementing whenever we buy a house. But I do want to ask, because you talk about like this seasonal thing and the Christmas party and stuff, and then you also mentioned the day-to-day where you can shut down the whole house, right, on command.
Yeah.
Has there been anything that you're surprised that you can do in both of those areas?
That you can do?
Yeah. Like any just, oh, whoa, I can do this moment.
That's a really good question. Let's see. I don't know. I mean, there's been some things I've been waiting for, like some of the Spotify integration. I was waiting for a little while because that wasn't immediately part of it. So being able to like create a routine and have that sort of thing happen was like, it was something I wanted, and it wasn't quite there until a little while ago. So that was like super exciting when it's like, hey, create this routine, and then you can get like, you know, playlists going and stuff, and then get like the Christmas party started, which has been awesome. The kids love that sort of stuff because it's just like,
right,
you know, they can, because they're at the age now too where they can just like start that sort of stuff. And anyway, I'll have to think about that. I don't know that there's anything like specifically
shocking.
Yeah, they're like, oh, you can do that. I'll have to like go through, but I'd say it's probably more disappointing to like think of something and then not be able to do it. And like, oh, why?
Interesting.
why can't we do this sort of thing yet? And that's probably more so, but I think those are becoming fewer and fewer just as more companies develop the technology and more things kind of come to market. So that's been, and of course, if you're willing to like invest in it and that sort of stuff, like not everything is like cross-platform. So sometimes one platform will have it or another will. And so you have to like buy into another platform in order to get it, which is a little bit frustrating. So I've had to do that once. And anyway, once you do it, then you're set. I guess that's probably the biggest frustration is like if you're kind of managing across multiple different areas, but then once you get it set up, it's kind of all pretty seamless and you can just kind of set things and have it run so that you don't have to manage very much, which is what I'm a fan of. Like, I just want things running, like have the routines, have the timers, have the schedules, have the front door locking itself so that I don't have to worry about that. Have the garages like notify me if they stay open so that like we don't forget to shut the garage and that sort of stuff. Like have all of those things just running so that, we don't have to worry about those types of things.
Master of your own universe.
Yeah.
I really want that. But please report back in later episodes if you find out more of like just exciting things. I'm very interested in this topic, but I also think that we should totally have an episode to talk about as, product manager and also me, product designer. How do we deal with like cross-platform things? I think that is something that is a little bit invisible when you're just day-to-day user, but then that's something that I feel like we pull our hair out over. Connecting to another service, it comes with so many nuances and just problems.
So true.
So put that on the list. But I'll put that on the list. Okay. That's what I meant. Next item for me, it's going from the grand smart home area to this is a very, very small thing that I personally am very grateful for. You ready for this? This is going to come up very nerdy, but I know a lot of people really will appreciate this is I have a mechanical keyboard. That's not what I'm shouting out for, but it's the key binding application that I use called Carabiner Elements. And I know a lot of you guys know what I'm talking about. And it is a free application that somebody recommended it to me. It was an engineer that recommended it to me. So very grateful for that too, because I was like, I cannot use it with my Mac and I have my PC. So I also don't want to, switch over to the other keyboard and have two keyboards on my desk. And now I only have my mechanical keyboard. I'm going to do a screen share and we can attach this photo in the show notes too, I think. But I'll give you a link.
Okay.
How do I share screen here? Okay. I just want to show you my keyboard. It's nothing very exciting, but look at my beautiful keyboard. It is kind of this retro color scheme.
Yeah, it is.
It's such a nice keyboard. Again, it's a shame that I couldn't use it on my Mac, right? Not quickly switching between this keyboard and the Apple keyboard.
Yeah.
What is that called? Do they have a name for that? The Apple keyboard.
Yeah.
They have to have a name for it, right?
It's probably
Magic Keyboard.
Apple key. Oh, that's a good question. Apple keyboard. Let's check it out.
I feel like we should know this for some reason. It feels like it should be a 2020 common sense.
Apple Magic Keyboard. Yeah. I mean, it's literally what I'm using right now, but yeah, Apple Magic Keyboard is what they say.
It's only Apple that can put magic into a product name. It just doesn't sound stupid.
That's true.
Do you agree?
Yeah, I think so. Yep. And the Magic Mouse and what is that? They have like, is it probably the Magic Trackboard too? Which is also what a Magic Trackpad, which I'm also using right now. It's so
silly now that I say it out loud. Magic blah. Anyways, try naming your product Magic whatever. Then say it out loud. Tell me how it feels. Anyways, so this application has been great. It changes also the key binding of my keyboard to my Mac, and then you can set different profiles, even with your, I forgot to point out, you don't have to use a mechanical keyboard or other fancy whatever keyboards with this application. You can actually use it to also change. For example, if you want to change some keys to other keys, you can do that within this application. The interface is pretty self-explanatory. And one example I have is that, you know how you can hit Command and Tab to switch between apps in Mac? So if you want to, you can just set, I don't want to have to hit 2 keys. I want to just hit Tab and then everything will just change. I don't know what lunatics will want to do that, but if you want that done, you can do it through this application too. And it's a very invisible thing that goes on in the background, but every day I'm like, yes, I can use whatever keyboards I want. I can set different profiles for different keyboards. It's great. It is led by this developer named Takayama Fumihiko. So sorry if you're listening and I butchered your name, but there are also 33 other contributors on GitHub that worked on this project. So it kind of feels like a group of people did this really cool thing, and now I'm reaping the fruit. It's a nice feeling. I also donated to them to make sure they keep building this thing because I don't want to lose this application. Yeah. So yeah, I have one last one, but then I'm like, this one's too nerdy. I'll just go through it quickly.
Okay. All right, here we go. The last shout out.
This one is very, very specific. I don't think a lot of people even care about this, so I'll keep it very short. It is a bunch of sketch plugins done by one person. His name is Jason Burns. Jason Burns, if you're listening to this podcast, thank you for building all these plugins. The plugins that I'm referring here includes Symbol Swapper, Symbol Instance Sheet Plugin, Symbol Organizer, and Symbol Instance Locator. These are things that I don't use every day, but probably once every 2-3 days. And when I need it, that's when I am the most frustrated and have the most tedious things I have to clean up in my symbol system in Sketch. Thank you, Jason Burns, who is also a product designer, which explains why these very specific plugins exist. Because it's like, who else is going to need these things if you don't have the same problems? So I'm also jealous of people that can just design and also build stuff, like understand code and programming languages. So Jason Burns, thank you. Yep. So that is my whole list.
There we go. There is our product shout outs, our Thanksgiving shout out episode of some things that we love and are using frequently and somewhat infrequently.
Love all of them. And thank you for listening. We're really grateful that we actually have listeners.
Yes. And so there we go. There's our last shout out. The last shout out of the episode is thank you for listening.
That is right. Anything else that we're grateful for?
No, that's it.
And that is a perfect end to this episode. That's it. And we'll see you again soon. Can I say that it's a podcast? No, we won't see you again, listener.
No.
But
we'll see you.
You'll hear from us sometime soon.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast app. You can find out more about us and our podcast on our website at productbydesign.co. You can also follow us on Twitter at prodbydesign. That's at prod_by_design. You can follow me on Twitter at Kyle Larry Evans. And you can also find Eva on Twitter at Yan Chow Chow. See you next time.